Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. A sliver of sunlight stretched across the room, interrupting the peaceful dawn. The tranquil atmosphere was abruptly interrupted by a rattling knock, followed by the distinct click of a key being turned with purpose. Time to rise and shine. The figure in the bed stirred, blinking away sleep. He was greeted by his sibling, who stood tall in her professional attire, her stance oozing authority, her countenance, a blend of playful deviousness and unwavering resolve, never boded well for him. This better be important. And since when did you have a key? I secured emergency access from Mom, and this definitely qualifies. Felipe pulled the white sheet up to his chest. What emergency? It's Saturday morning. Remember my friend Diana? Her wedding's today. Yeah, say nah. So her cousin just came down with food poisoning. Real bad. She's been throwing up all night. Lucia walked to his closet, sliding the door open. Diana needs a replacement bridesmaid. That's unfortunate, but I don't see how... Oh, please. She reached into the back of his closet, past the hanging shirts and jackets. I know what you keep back here. His heart stopped. The blood drained from his face as she pulled out a black garment bag he'd hidden behind his winter coats. Lucia, I can explain, no need. She unzipped the bag, revealing the burgundy dress inside. I've known for months. You're not as sneaky as you think. Felipe's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. The secret he'd guarded for years lay exposed in his sister's manicured hands. How? You borrowed my makeup last March, left mascara on the sink. She held up the dress, examining it. Plus, I saw you at the mall that one time. The blonde wig was a nice touch, but I'd recognize my little brother anywhere. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. He couldn't meet her eyes. Look at me, Felipe. He raised his head slowly. Instead of the disgust or mockery he'd feared, her face showed only calm assessment. Diana's wedding party needs 6 bridesmaids for symmetry. The dresses are burgundy, like this one. What are the odds? She tossed the dress onto his bed. You're about Cousin Maria's size. This is happening. Lucia, no, I can't. What if someone recognizes me? They won't. I'll do your makeup myself. Trust me. By the time I'm done, even Mom wouldn't know you. This is insane. This is perfect. Diana gets her 6 bridesmaids, you get to spend a whole day dressed up without sneaking around, and I get to hold this over you forever. She grinned. Everybody wins. Felipe stared at the dress spread across his white comforter. The fabric caught the morning light, shimmering slightly. He'd bought it months ago, but never had the courage to wear it outside his apartment. What if I mess up? What if I walk wrong or bah? You won't. I've seen you practice in heels through your bedroom window. You're better at it than half my friends. She checked her phone. Wedding's at 3. We need to start getting ready by noon. That gives us time to stop by the salon first. The salon? For your hair? That wig collection of yours won't cut it for photos. We're getting you extensions. Auburn ones to match your natural color. Lucia, this is too much. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but nothing. You're doing this. Her tone shifted, carrying the authority of an older sister who'd always gotten her way. Besides, you want to. I can see it in your eyes. She was right. The terror mixing with excitement in his stomach told him that much. The chance to spend an entire day as himself, his real self, without hiding or pretending, felt like a gift wrapped in fear. What about my voice? Keep it soft, speak from your throat, not your chest. You've got a naturally high pitch anyway. She headed for the door. Shower and shave everything. And I mean everything. I'll be back in an hour with supplies. The door clicked shut, leaving Felipe alone with his racing thoughts. He touched the burgundy fabric, running his fingers along the smooth material. Today would change everything, one way or another. The hot water cascaded over his shoulders as he stood in the shower, razor in hand. Each stroke removed another piece of the facade he wore daily. The ritual felt different this time, purposeful rather than hidden. By the time he finished, his skin felt new, sensitive to even the gentlest touch of the towel. He wrapped himself in his gray bathrobe and sat on the bed staring at the dress. The front door opened and Lucia's voice carried down the hall. I'm back, and I brought reinforcements. She appeared with 2 large bags and a makeup case that looked like it could stock a small salon. First things first. She pulled out a nude-colored garment. Shapewear. It'll give you curves in the right places. I don't know how to put that on. I'll teach you. Turn around. 20 minutes later, Felipe stood before his full-length mirror, barely recognizing the silhouette looking back. The shapewear created an hourglass figure he'd only dreamed of achieving. Now the fun part. Lucia guided him to sit at his desk, transforming it into a makeshift vanity. Close your eyes and trust me. The next hour passed in a blur of brushes, sponges, and pencils. Lucia worked with the focus of an artist, occasionally stepping back to assess her progress. The scent of foundation and powder filled the room. Don't open yet. Let me do your lips. The lipstick felt creamy and foreign against his mouth. He resisted the urge to lick his lips as she outlined them with precision. Okay, look. Felipe opened his eyes and gasped. The face in the mirror belonged to a woman. Soft features, defined cheekbones, perfectly shaped eyebrows. His eyes, enhanced with copper and brown shadows, looked larger and more expressive. Oh my God. I know, right? I'm good. She squeezed his shoulder. Time for hair. Get dressed first. I laid out everything on your bed. The burgundy dress slipped over his head like water, the fabric settling perfectly over his new curves. Lucia zipped up the back, adjusting the shoulders. The matching heels, 3 inches, closed toe, completed the ensemble. How do you know my shoe size? Please, you've borrowed my shoes before. I'm not stupid. She plugged in a curling iron. Sit back down. We're doing your hair now. She sectioned his natural hair, which had grown to his shoulders over the past year. Using clips and pins, she began attaching the auburn extensions, blending them seamlessly with his own hair. The process took another 45 minutes, but when she finished, cascading waves framed his face, reaching the middle of his back. One more thing. She pulled out a black patent leather clutch bag. Phone, lipstick for touch-ups, tissues, everything a bridesmaid needs. Felipe stood, wobbling slightly on the heels before finding his balance. The mirror showed a complete transformation, an elegant woman in a burgundy dress ready for a wedding. I can't believe this is happening. Believe it. Now let's practice your walk one more time before we go. They spent the next 20 minutes working on his posture and gait. Lucia corrected his stance, teaching him to take smaller steps and keep his shoulders back. By the time they finished, his movements looked natural, even graceful. Perfect. You're ready. She grabbed her purple jacket from the closet. I'll drive. You can practice sitting like a lady in the car. The trip to the church took 30 minutes. Felipe kept checking his reflection in the side mirror, still amazed by his appearance. The auburn hair caught the sunlight streaming through the car window, creating reddish highlights he'd never noticed in his natural color. Remember, your name is Felicia. You're Maria's cousin from out of town. Keep the backstory simple. You work in accounting, you love romantic comedies, and you're single. Why single? Less complicated, no fake boyfriend to remember. She pulled into the church parking lot. Diana's in the bridal suite. Other bridesmaids should already be there. The church loomed before them, its white stone facade and stained glass windows intimidating in their grandeur. Felipe's hands trembled as he smoothed down his dress. You've got this. Just follow my lead. The bridal suite buzzed with activity. 5 women in matching burgundy dresses flitted about, adjusting hair and makeup. Diana stood in the center, resplendent in her white gown, while her mother fastened a pearl necklace around her throat. Lucia, thank God you're here. Diana rushed forward, her dress rustling. Is this Maria's cousin? Felicia, meet Diana. Diana, Felicia just flew in from Denver this morning. Felipe extended his hand, remembering to keep his wrist loose. Congratulations on your wedding. Thank you for letting me fill in. Are you kidding? You're saving my life, and you look gorgeous. That dress fits perfectly. Diana squeezed his hands. Come meet the other girls. The introductions passed in a whirlwind. Rachel, the maid of honor in her slightly darker burgundy dress. Jennifer and Ashley, twins who worked with Diana. Brooke, Diana's college roommate. Each woman welcomed him warmly, accepting him without question as one of them. Ladies, 10 minutes until photos. The wedding coordinator, a stern woman in a black pantsuit, clapped her hands. Touch up your lipstick and let's line up by height. Felipe found himself between Jennifer and Brooke, right in the middle of the group. As they walked to the church gardens for pictures, Jennifer linked arms with him. "Love your hair. Where do you get it done?" "Oh, there's this little place near my apartment." He kept his voice soft and light. "They work miracles." "I'll say. That color is stunning. Natural?" "Mostly. Just a few extensions for volume." The photographer, a young man with a gray vest and multiple cameras, positioned them among the rose bushes. Felipe focused on mimicking the other women's poses, tilting his head when they did, smiling on cue. The weight of the hair on his shoulders felt foreign, but wonderful. "Beautiful. Now just the bridesmaids. Felicia, sweetheart, angle your shoulders left a bit. Perfect." An hour of photos followed. Felipe's feet ached in the heels, but he didn't dare complain when none of the other women did. They giggled through silly poses, held Diana's train, and pretended to fix each other's hair for candid shots. "Time to line up!" The coordinator ushered them back inside. "Remember, measured steps, hold your bouquets at belly button level, and smile." The music swelled as the church doors opened. Felipe's heart hammered against his ribs as he followed Jennifer down the aisle. Hundreds of eyes watched their procession, but he kept his gaze forward, focusing on each careful step. He took his place at the altar, turning to watch Diana's entrance. The ceremony passed like a dream, readings, vows, rings, and finally the kiss that sealed their union. Throughout it all, Felipe stood with the other bridesmaids, feeling more himself than he ever had while wearing a suit. The reception hall glittered with twinkling lights and white roses. Each table bore burgundy and gold centerpieces that matched the wedding party's dresses. Felipe found his place card at the head table, right between Jennifer and Brooke. "Thank God that's over." Jennifer kicked off her heels under the table. "Beautiful ceremony, but my feet are killing me." "Tell me about it." Felipe slipped his own shoes off, grateful for the tablecloth that hid his actions. "These heels are gorgeous, but brutal." "First time in those?" Brooke sipped her champagne. "You're handling them like a pro." "Lots of practice." He accepted a glass from a passing waiter. "My sister dragged me shoe shopping all the time growing up." The lie came easily, wrapped in enough truth to sound believable. As the evening progressed, Felipe found himself relaxing into conversation with the other bridesmaids. They discussed movies, work frustrations, and relationship disasters with the easy familiarity of old friends. "So, you're single?" Rachel leaned across Brooke to ask. "Hard to believe. You're absolutely stunning." Heat rushed to Felipe's cheeks. "Just haven't found the right person yet." "I might know someone perfect for you. My brother's friend just moved to Denver. Investment banker, tall, gorgeous smile." "Oh, I don't know." "At least let me give him your number. What could it hurt?" Lucia appeared at his shoulder, rescuing him. "Sorry to interrupt, ladies. Felicia, can I borrow you for a second? Diana wants to talk to us." She guided him to a quiet corner near the kitchen entrance. "You're doing amazing. Seriously? Even I forget it's you sometimes." "Rachel wants to set me up with some banker." "Of course she does. You look hot." She straightened his necklace. "Listen, Diana's about to throw the bouquet. Get in the back of the group, avoid catching it." "Wasn't planning on fighting for it." "Good. Also, there's something else." Her expression turned serious. "Remember when I mentioned that job at my company?" "Vaguely?" "Our receptionist just put in her 2 weeks' notice. With your accounting background, you'd be perfect for it. Plus, the pay's better than your current job." "Lucia, I can't work at your company like this." "Why not? You've fooled everyone today. You could easily do it for a summer job. Think about it. 3 months of being yourself, making more money, no one knowing the truth except me." The DJ's voice boomed across the reception hall. "All single ladies to the dance floor. It's bouquet time." "We'll talk later. Go." She pushed him toward the gathering crowd of women. Felipe stood at the edge of the group, watching as Diana turned her back to them. The bouquet sailed through the air in a high arc. By pure instinct, he raised his hands as it headed straight for him. The flowers landed in his grasp, white roses and baby's breath tied with a burgundy ribbon. Cheers erupted around him. Diana rushed over, hugging him tight. "Felicia, you're next to get married." The photographer snapped pictures as the other women congratulated him. Felipe clutched the bouquet, smiling through his embarrassment. Jennifer appeared at his side. "See? This is fate. You have to let Rachel set you up now." The rest of the reception passed in a blur of dancing, cake, and conversation. Felipe slow danced with one of the groomsmen, keeping a respectful distance while following his lead. The man, Thomas, complimented his dress and asked about Denver. The lies flowed easier now, each one building the fiction of Felicia's life. By 11 o'clock, the party began winding down. Diana and her new husband made their rounds, thanking everyone. When she reached Felipe, she clasped both his hands. "Felicia, thank you so much for stepping in. You were the perfect bridesmaid." "It was my pleasure, really. Today was magical. Lucia mentioned you might be moving here soon?" "Possibly. There's a job opportunity." "Well, if you do, we have to get together. I feel like I've known you forever." As they drove home, Felipe stared out the window, still holding the bouquet. The auburn hair reflected in the glass, reminding him that Felicia still existed, if only for a few more hours. "So?" Lucia glanced at him while stopped at a red light. "What do you think about the job?" "I think you're crazy." "That's not a no." Felipe touched his hair, running fingers through the soft waves. "How would it even work? I can't exactly show up to an interview looking like this." "Sure you can. I already told my boss about you." "Well, about Felicia. Said you're my cousin from Denver looking to relocate." "You planned this whole thing." "Maybe a little," she grinned. "But did you see yourself today? You were radiant, happy. When's the last time you felt that comfortable in your own skin?" She had a point. The entire day, despite the initial terror, had felt like coming home. Every gesture, every conversation, every moment had felt right in a way his daily life never did. "What about after summer, when the job ends?" "We'll figure it out. Maybe you'll find something else. Maybe you'll decide to transition fully. Maybe you'll just have had 3 months of being yourself. Either way, you'll be making almost double what you make now." "My parents would freak out." "Let me handle Mom and Dad. They love me more anyway." Felipe laughed, despite himself. "That's true." They pulled into his apartment complex. Lucia parked, but left the engine running. "Sleep on it. The interview's Tuesday if you want it. I can help you prep, get your wardrobe ready, whatever you need." "Why are you doing this?" "Because you're my brother and I love you. And because I've watched you shrink yourself to fit what you think the world wants. Today, you shined. You deserve to feel that way all the time." Felipe squeezed her hand. "Thank you for everything. Thank me by taking the interview. Now go inside before you ruin your makeup crying." In his apartment, Felipe stood before his bathroom mirror, reluctant to remove the makeup and return to his usual self. He took photos from every angle, trying to capture the feeling of completeness he'd experienced. The auburn waves cascaded over his shoulders as he turned, admiring how they framed his face. His phone buzzed, a text from Lucia. "Interview Tuesday, 2 p.m. Wear the black skirt suit in your closet. I saw it last time I was snooping." He typed back, "I'll think about it." "No thinking, just do it. Night, Felicia." Felipe smiled at the name. Maybe Lucia was right. Maybe it was time to stop hiding. He carefully removed the dress, hanging it back in the garment bag. The makeup came off slowly, each wipe of the removal cloth taking away a piece of the happiness he'd felt. Monday came too quickly. Felipe sat at his desk at the accounting firm, staring at spreadsheets while his mind wandered to the reception. His male colleagues discussed sports and weekend plans, their voices a constant reminder of the mask he wore daily. "Rodriguez, conference room in 5. Johnson wants to review the quarterly reports." He nodded at his supervisor, gathering his files. The fluorescent lights felt harsh after Saturday's soft wedding ambiance. His gray suit felt like a costume, but not the good kind, more like a prison uniform he donned each morning. During lunch, he called Lucia. "I'll do it, the interview." "Finally, I already told them you're coming. Bring your resume, but honestly, it's mostly a formality. They trust my recommendation." "What if someone figures it out?" "They won't. You fooled an entire wedding. An office is nothing." Tuesday morning arrived with Seattle's typical drizzle. Felipe spent 2 hours getting ready, applying makeup with the techniques Lucia had shown him. The black skirt suit fit perfectly, professional yet feminine. He'd practiced with the auburn extensions until he could attach them himself, the long hair now feeling natural against his back. The office building downtown towered 40 stories high, glass and steel reaching toward the cloudy sky. Lucia met him in the lobby, wearing her purple blazer over a white blouse. "You look perfect, very professional. Ready?" "No, but let's do it anyway." The elevator ride to the 20th floor felt endless. Felipe checked his reflection in the polished doors, adjusting a strand of auburn hair that had escaped from behind his ear. "Stop fussing, you're gorgeous." The reception area gleamed with modern furniture and abstract art. A blonde woman sat behind the desk, the receptionist whose position Felipe might fill. "Lucia, this must be your cousin." "Shannon, meet Felicia." "Felicia, Shannon's training her replacement before she moves to Portland." Shannon stood, extending her hand. "Lucky me, right? Please tell me you have office experience." 5 years in accounting, lots of client interaction." Thank God. The last interviewee had never touched a multi-line phone system. She gestured to the desk setup. "This would all be yours. Phone, computer, scheduling software. The works." A door opened, and a woman in her 50s emerged. Silver hair pulled into an elegant bun, navy suit impeccable. She commanded attention without saying a word. "Ms. Patterson, this is Felicia Martinez, my cousin I mentioned." "Pleasure to meet you, Felicia. Shall we talk in my office?" The interview lasted 40 minutes. Ms. Patterson asked about experience, availability, and long-term goals. Felipe answered carefully, constructing Felicia's background with enough truth to sound authentic. His accounting knowledge impressed her, as did his professional demeanor. "Lucia speaks highly of you. Says you're relocating from Denver?" "Yes, ma'am. Ready for a change of scenery." "Well, we'd be lucky to have you. The position starts next Monday, if you're interested. Shannon will train you for her last 2 weeks, then you'll take over fully." Yes, I'm very interested." "Excellent. HR will email you the paperwork. Welcome to Patterson and Associates, Felicia." They shook hands, sealing a deal that would change everything. Outside the office, Lucia practically bounced with excitement. "You got it! I knew you would. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be terrifying." Same thing, really. The next few days passed in a whirlwind of preparation. Felipe gave notice at his accounting job, citing a family emergency that required extended leave. His boss wasn't happy, but accepted the resignation. Shopping with Lucia became a daily event. They built Felicia's professional wardrobe, skirts, blouses, dresses, all in colors that complemented the auburn hair. She taught him makeup techniques for lasting all day, how to touch up lipstick after lunch, and the art of sitting properly in a skirt. Remember, knees together, angle to the side, never straight on. There's so much to remember. It becomes second nature, trust me. Sunday night, Felipe laid out his outfit for the first day. A teal blouse with a gray pencil skirt. The clothes hung on his closet door like a promise of transformation. He barely slept, alternating between excitement and panic. Monday morning dawned bright and clear, unusual for Seattle. He took extra care with his appearance, making sure every detail was perfect. The auburn extensions blended seamlessly with his natural hair, styled in soft waves that reached his mid-back. Shannon greeted him warmly at reception. "Felicia, ready for training? I promise it's not as complicated as it looks." The first week flew by. Felipe learned the phone system, memorized employee extensions, and mastered the scheduling software. Shannon proved to be a patient teacher, sharing tips for handling difficult clients and office politics. "Mr. Davidson always sounds angry, but he's actually sweet. Just agree with whatever he's complaining about, and he'll calm down." "And Ms. Chen? Lovely, but always running late. Add 15 minutes to any meeting time you give her." By Friday, Felipe felt comfortable behind the desk. Employees had started greeting him by name, accepting Felicia as a natural part of the office ecosystem. Jennifer from accounting even invited him to lunch. "Us accounting types need to stick together, even if you've defected to reception." They ate at a small cafe across the street. Jennifer, a redhead with bright green eyes, proved easy to talk to. She'd worked at Patterson and Associates for 3 years and knew everyone's quirks. "Fair warning, Brad from sales will definitely hit on you. He thinks he's God's gift to women." "Noted. I'll be sure to shut that down." "Good luck, he's persistent." She stirred her iced tea. "So what made you leave accounting, if you don't mind me asking?" "Needed a change. Sitting in a cubicle all day was draining my soul." "I hear that." Some days I think about running away to become a yoga instructor or something equally impractical. They laughed, bonding over shared frustrations with corporate life. As they walked back, Jennifer linked arms with him, a gesture of casual friendship that felt monumental. The second week brought new challenges. Brad from sales did indeed make his move, leaning over the reception desk with what he clearly thought was a charming smile. "Felicia, right? How about dinner Friday? I know this great Italian place." "That's kind, but I don't date coworkers." "Come on, just dinner." "No pressure." "No thank you." Felipe kept his voice firm but polite. "Can I help you with something work-related?" Brad's face soured, but he backed off. "Just wanted to welcome you properly." After he left, Lucia appeared from the elevator. "Smooth shutdown, I'm impressed. Jennifer warned me about him. Smart woman. Speaking of which, you two seem friendly." "She's nice. We had lunch a few times." "Look at you making girlfriends." She leaned on the desk. "How are you feeling about all this? It's been 2 weeks." Felipe glanced around, making sure no one was within earshot. "Honestly, I don't want it to end." "Who says it has to?" "Summer doesn't last forever, Lucia." "No, but you could. Have you thought about it? Really transitioning?" The question hung in the air. Felipe had thought about it, late at night, when he removed his makeup and returned to his male presentation. Each morning grew harder. Putting on Felicia's clothes felt right, while his male wardrobe felt increasingly foreign. "I don't know, maybe." "Well, whenever you decide, I'm here. Now, I should actually work. See you at lunch?" The days settled into a rhythm. Felipe grew confident in his role, handling multiple phone lines with ease and managing complex scheduling conflicts. His coworkers appreciated his efficiency and warm demeanor. Even Ms. Patterson complimented his performance during a brief check-in. One Thursday, Shannon's last day, the office threw a small farewell party. Felipe had organized it, coordinating with Jennifer to get a cake and arrange for everyone to sign a card. As Shannon hugged him goodbye, she whispered, "Take care of this place. You're already better at this job than I ever was." That evening, Lucia drove him home as usual. They'd developed a routine. She'd pick him up each morning and drop him off each night, giving them time to debrief about the day. "Shannon's really gone now. It's all you." "I noticed. Scary thought." "You're crushing it. Seriously, Mom asked about you yesterday." Felipe's stomach dropped. "What? Why?" "Relax. I just told her my cousin was visiting for the summer. She wants to meet you." "Absolutely not. Come on, it would be hilarious. Your own mother not recognizing you." "That's exactly why it's a terrible idea." "Think about it. We could do Sunday dinner. Very casual." The idea terrified him, but a small part wondered if he could pull it off. He'd fooled an entire office for 3 weeks. But his parents? That felt like a line he shouldn't cross. Friday brought unexpected challenges. A major client meeting got double booked, resulting in 2 Fortune 500 CEOs showing up simultaneously. Felipe handled the crisis with grace, arranging for one meeting to move to a different conference room and personally apologizing to both parties. "Impressive work," Ms. Patterson had observed the whole interaction. "You turned a potential disaster into a minor inconvenience. Well done, Felicia." The praise warmed him more than any performance review at his old job. Here, as Felicia, his skills shined. People noticed his contributions, valued his presence. After work, Jennifer invited him to happy hour with some of the other women from the office. Felipe hesitated, then agreed. They went to a wine bar downtown, claiming a corner booth. "To surviving another week in corporate hell," Rachel from HR raised her glass. "To Felicia, who makes our lives easier by keeping the schedule straight," Jennifer added. They clinked glasses, and Felipe felt a surge of belonging. The conversation flowed naturally. Weekend plans, dating disasters, office gossip. He contributed stories carefully crafted to fit Felicia's narrative, but the emotions behind them were real. "So, Felicia, seeing anyone?" Rachel asked after her second glass of wine. "Not at the moment, focusing on work right now." "Smart, men are trouble anyway." She launched into a story about her ex-boyfriend's failures. As the evening progressed, Felipe relaxed into the camaraderie. These women had accepted him completely, including him in their circle without question. The auburn hair caught the bar's dim lighting as he laughed at their jokes, feeling more authentic than he ever had in similar situations as a man. Lucia picked him up at 9, finding him slightly tipsy and glowing with happiness. Good night? The best, I love them. They're so funny and smart and welcoming. You're a little drunk. Just a little. Did you know Jennifer has 3 cats? 3. She showed me pictures. They're adorable. Lucia smiled, navigating through traffic. You're happy? I am. I really am. Good. You deserve it. The weekend passed quietly. Felipe spent Saturday practicing makeup techniques and organizing his growing wardrobe. He'd started buying pieces with his own money, each purchase an investment in Felicia's future. Sunday morning, his phone rang. His mother's contact photo filled the screen. He answered cautiously. Felipe, mijo, where have you been? You haven't called in weeks. Sorry, Mom. Work's been crazy. Too crazy to call your mother? Lucia says you've been busy with some new project. Something like that. Well, you're coming to dinner today, no excuses. I'm making your favorite chicken mole. Mom, I can't. 6 o'clock, don't be late. She hung up before he could protest further. Panic set in immediately. He called Lucia. She ambushed me, demanded I come to dinner. So come as Felipe, it's fine. I don't have any male clothes that fit anymore. I donated most of them last week. Oh, right. Well, this is a disaster. Or an opportunity. Come as Felicia. Tell them Felipe's sick and sent his girlfriend to apologize. That's insane. That's genius. I'll back you up. After an hour of debate, Felipe agreed to the plan. He chose a conservative outfit, a navy dress with 3/4 sleeves and minimal jewelry, the auburn hair styled in a low ponytail, professional rather than glamorous. Standing outside his childhood home, his hand trembled as he rang the doorbell. His father answered, a short man with graying temples and kind eyes. Yes? Hi, I'm Felicia, Felipe's girlfriend. He's sick and asked me to come apologize for missing dinner. Oh, well, come in. I'm Roberto, his father. The house smelled like home, spices and warmth and his mother's cooking. Family photos lined the walls, including several of Felipe at various ages. He avoided looking at them directly. His mother emerged from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a floral apron. Who's this? Felipe's girlfriend, Felicia. He's sick. Sick? What's wrong with him? Food poisoning, Felipe said quickly. He feels terrible about missing dinner. That boy never takes care of himself. She studied him with sharp eyes. How long have you been dating? About 2 months. And he hasn't mentioned you? Typical. Well, you're here now? Stay for dinner? Oh, I couldn't. Nonsense, I made plenty. Lucia appeared from the living room, suppressing a grin. Mom, be nice. Felicia's shy. I'm being perfectly nice. Set another place, Lucia. Dinner became an exercise in careful navigation. His parents asked dozens of questions about their relationship, Felipe's health, and Felicia's background. He wove truth and fiction together, creating a believable narrative, while his mother's mole sauce, his favorite since childhood, tasted like memories. You seem familiar, his mother said suddenly. Have we met before? Felipe's heart stopped. I don't think so. Maybe you just have one of those faces, Roberto suggested. Common beauty. Roberto! His mother swatted his arm. Don't flirt with our son's girlfriend. I'm not flirting, I'm observing. Lucia kicked Felipe under the table, a warning to stay calm. He took a sip of water, forcing his hands not to shake. Felipe talks about you both often, he said. He loves you very much. He better. We didn't raise him to forget his family. His mother's expression softened. When he feels better, bring him by. The words hit Felipe deeply, resonating with a sense of fulfillment he hadn't felt in years. He was overcome with a flood of emotions. Gratitude, love, and a newfound sense of purpose washed over him.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.